being an athlete has definitely helped me to be able to focus my mind on a certain task until it's complete. I will definitely give a lot of credit to me being an athlete. And the other part I would say is that just being coachable. You don't have to, for those who are watching, listening, you don't have to be an athlete to succeed with anything. It's just about being coachable and then having a mindset that you're going to follow through and overcome any challenge that shows up until you are successful.
Hello, everyone, and thank you today for joining us for another episode of Entrepreneurial Truth. On today's episode, we have Michael Baptiste on, and Michael is going to share his journey, his experience, and how he got from where he was to where he is currently and where he's going. Michael, I'm going to start and just ask you to just start at the beginning and just walk us through your journey.
Wholeness, everyone, and absolutely, Kessie, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and share my story. So for those of you who don't know me, never heard of me before, my name is Michael Baptiste. Some people call me Michael Over-Deliver Baptiste. And I was born to a single mother, teenage mother, while my father was in prison, born in Miami, Florida, in the inner city of Miami, Florida. So I grew up without a lot of resources, and this gave me a fire to have more, to achieve more, because I grew up without having these things, right? And that fire inside of me became an entrepreneurial fire that I had to find a way to fulfill, so to speak. So I recognized that I wasn't going to make the traditional path, but basketball would be my way. So I earned this college scholarship. And when I got to college, I thought I was going to the NBA, and then I got hurt, and then I had to have surgery. And then I saw my dreams start to slip away, and then I recovered. And then I had a second surgery a year later, or a few months later. And then I realized, like, I'm not going to the NBA. Like, I'm not going anymore. I got to find another way to be successful. So that began another search for how can I get to a space where I can have the NBA lifestyle, right, and make NBA money without having to damage my body in an NBA way, right? So then that search led me to finding digital marketing. I discovered people were making money online. They were making millions of dollars online. I said, what is that? Is that really possible? And I was desperate. I took a chance at it, and lo and behold, on my first day, I made $20 in 10 minutes. And that's when I was like, okay, this is the way. And I made a decision. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, and I'm going to share this with as many people as possible who may also be searching for a way to find success for themselves. And so that's kind of the origins of my story. There's a lot more to it, but that's the condensed, summarized version of my story.
I love it. I love it. And I want to find out, you said in the first day, right, you made $20 in 10 minutes. Can you dive into that? What was that? What did you do?
Well, I can tell you what I did, but I think it's fair if I give you the story, right?
Yeah.
So, I was a true story. I was at a party with friends, and I realized this party it's not going where I wanted to be. These friends are not going to lead me to where I want to go in life. I need new friends, and I need to end this party. So when you guys are finished, take me back to my college dorm rooms. And so I turn on the TV, late night infomercial comes on, and that's where I discovered, wow, this guy's making millions of dollars. At the time, I had $150 on me as a college student. So I said, here's $50. I'll buy it, whatever. The book comes in the mail a week later. When it comes in the mail, it said, put this right here in your computer. And I was like, what? Why wouldn't he tell me you have to have a computer to make money online? I don't have a computer. Why would he say that? Why would he say, hey, you have to have a computer to make money online? So when I got it, I'm like, I don't even have a computer. How am I going to do this? And I was like, okay, stop, Mike. Think for a second. Think. Bingo. The school's computer lab has computers. I'll just go there, use one of the computers like nobody knows, and I just, do it that way. So I go to the school's computer lab. Not a lot of people in there, maybe like 2 people, and there was like 20 empty computers and not many people in there. So I take the DVD, I put it in the disk drive. This is like old school, back in like 2010? 2010. Yeah, 2010. That's when this was. Yeah, dinosaur years for the internet.
Right.
But yeah. So I put it in, and I watched the fast start. It said, hey, open up an affiliated account for a CPA network. CPA stands for cost per action, right? And it's basically a model where you sell somebody else's product or refer them a lead, and you get paid for that sale that you referred, or you get paid for that lead that you referred. So they had me sign up for one of these CPA offers, or cost per action offers, right? It was like an insurance offer. I signed up for it, and they were like, just to show you that this method works, this is what you're gonna do. open this up, do this, do that. And I was like, okay, wait, pause the video, take action. Okay, play the video. Now this is what you're going to do. You're going to do this and that and that, and then take this link right here and click this. And I said, okay, pause. And I took action, right? And then I went back again, and it was like, okay, now that you did that, you're going to go here, put your email here, do this, and then bam, hit refresh on the screen, see if you made money. And I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm desperate. I'm not even going to question the guy. Let me just do it. So I paused, do it, take action. And when I finished, I refreshed the screen, and the account went from $0 to $20. And I was like I jumped up, I screamed, I ran around, and I just went crazy because I'm like, yo, I found it. I found the way. I found a way that I'm going to finally make a way for myself, make a living for myself. I don't need a boss. I don't need a job. And I can do this for the rest of my life without having to, be anywhere, do anything that I don't want to do, so to speak. And so that was the moment for me where the monkey fell off of my back, as they call it.
Mm-hmm. And do you think it was your training that allowed you to be able to receive information and then take action?
Absolutely. Being an athlete has definitely helped me to be able to focus my mind on a certain task until it's complete. I will definitely give a lot of credit to me being an athlete. And the other part I would say is that just being coachable. You don't have to, for those who are watching, listening, you don't have to be an athlete to succeed with anything. It's just about being coachable and then having a mindset that you're going to follow through and overcome any challenge that shows up until you are successful. So yeah, hopefully that can help somebody out there listening.
And what's the difference between where you were then and where you are now?
I would say where I was then, I was in a space where I didn't know anything. And the only thing that I knew is that I didn't want to go back to the pain and suffering where I came from. And I knew that there was more to this world. There was more to this life because I'd seen it in college. And I wanted to taste what more was. And I wanted to experience what more was. But I didn't really know. I just had this idea. Right. And also back then, I would say I was I was a totally different version of myself in terms of my consciousness, which I'll share more about on this show. That's where I was. Now where I'm at is I'm kind of, I won't say I'm fully on the other side because I'm still kind of going up the mountain of my own journey, and I'm still writing the book of my life story, so to speak. However, I'm in a space now where I've been able to generate results. Multiple six figures online. I've helped, a startup company that I was a co-founder of, and have equity in, go from literally zero, like an idea, to earning over $20 million in sales and actually completing an 8-figure exit. Right. So I was a part of that from start to finish. And I have that on my resume, so to speak. I've helped many clients around the world actually generate millions of dollars online. And there's people that I still follow. I still, talk to them today, and they're super successful now. And they started from zero with me and my help. And I'll also say that I've evolved in my consciousness because a lot of the things that I desired to do, such as travel, such as experience different parts of the world, such as go to different regions of the world to learn and study under certain people. I've been able to do some of these things, and it's helped me to evolve in my being, evolve in my consciousness, to where it's not just about business and making money, but it's more so about, evolution of my own consciousness, evolution of my soul, and also sharing parts of that enlightenment so others can evolve, not only when it comes to economics, but also evolve when it comes to their soul and their consciousness as well. So now I'm in a totally different state. I'm the same Michael, but I'm just more evolved, if you will. And I would say those are some of the differences from where I was versus where I'm at now. And where I'm at now is I'm just in a space of I really, really want to help people, and not just help them for the sake of helping them, but help them accomplish their goal that they're after, and then help their soul, help their inner consciousness to move towards what's really real. And, I don't want to share too much, but I'll just stop right there. And I'll just say, those are the ways I'm helping people on a deeper level now.
In reflecting on that version of yourself then, and where you are now, and it's been a journey, right? Do you think
Yes.
that you would have been able to seek that other version of yourself, like spiritually, if you had been that same person trying to find the answer to pay your bills?
No way. Not at all. That person was seeking a way to make money to solve his problems, right? Whereas this person now is seeking a way to solve the bigger matrix, the bigger problem with this matrix that we're all living in, on a conscious level. So I would say that those are two different individuals who are after two different things.
But do you feel like it's related? So when you look at entrepreneurs today, some starting their journey, some in the middle of their journey, and some that have found success, do you feel like now that you're on this end of it, that having that consciousness in the beginning would have made you or propel you faster? It would have helped you, or do you feel like you need to get the financial stability first and then go on that journey?